Hey there, Daniel Zinner. I'm so honored to have you on the red couch today.
Hi, Angie. Nice to be invited by you. Looking forward to our conversation.
And, you and I, we go back way. I mean, we met a long time ago. And not to, spill the secret already, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you if you want to share any fun fact about you that people can't read about you on the internet.
I mean, yes. Thanks for asking. I guess Angie, many people know me as Dan the German. So I'm so I'm based in Berlin, in Germany, and I do whatever I need to do from my base. And the fun fact I would say is it's actually already two people who call me Andreas independently from
What?
each other. So they don't know each other, but they call me Andreas, and I don't know how this could happen. But I take it in a positive way. Yeah,
I wonder if this any has anything to do with the biblical Andreas?
I don't know. I
You
have
know
no
what happened
clue.
to him, right?
No, and I don't
He
want to
got
know.
crossed.
Yeah, no,
He's
I
like the
have no
second
clue.
Jesus.
The second G. Okay, okay, yeah, no, I'm not aware about that. It's just funny for me to see that people connect me with the name Andreas for
Mm.
whatever reason.
Well, I connect you with Dan the man, but I didn't want
Yeah,
to intro with that.
all good.
Well, so, my dear,
Yes.
tell us about your big why. Why do you do
Why?
what you do?
Um, so you don't want to know what I do, but yeah, why
Later,
I do
maybe.
what I do. I guess and you might remember and you might see me sometimes. I'm pretty passionate about global collaboration. So I really want people working together, despite what's going on in the world right now. But yeah, the global collaboration is my main motivation, which
Mhm.
when I wake up, that's what I want to improve. And yeah, so I'm also fostering the global mindset. So for collaboration, you need people to have a certain mindset. I call it, or we call it, global mindset. And yeah, as we both come from the global mobility industry, yeah, my purpose is also supporting within corporations the global mobility functions to create a global mindset and therefore foster global collaboration.
And that is so beautiful, especially
Thank
in
you.
2025, that you're
Yes,
still following the passion.
I'm still following the passion, and I think it's needed even more than before.
It is, absolutely. So you already wanted to talk about what you do, and we're also interested in your journey. So you're an entrepreneur now. We both used to be employed, funnily by the same employers, but when I moved from Deutsche Bank to PwC, you moved from PwC to Deutsche Bank.
Deutsche Bank, exactly.
So we heard of each other, but we didn't know each other in
Mm,
person.
True.
And then you asked me if I could find a role for your then girlfriend, I think.
Yes, my nowadays wife.
She's now your wife. And yeah, for some reason it worked out. So
Yes,
I don't know. And that's how we became friends.
yes, and I'm glad we are still in touch.
And we're still in
Friendship is
touch.
also friendship is also something which is kind of fading out sometimes these days.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I'm glad still having friends. Yes.
Yeah. So aside from this little like interaction we had over the last almost 20 years,
Mhm.
how was your journey from, working at PwC to the entrepreneur, ruler of the world that you are right now?
Ruler of the world. No, I wouldn't call myself being the ruler, but yeah, I think during my times at PwC, where I worked in the tax service line,
Hmm.
preparing tax returns mainly for Indian inbounds to Germany, I got very much intrigued and interested in the topic of global mobility. Back in the days, it was called international HR tax. just focusing on tax, but the whole global mobility compliance also included immigration and social security. And then besides the compliance, then people were talking about talent management policies and self-initiated assignments. So people who wanted to transfer or be somewhere else out of private reasons. And this really interests me because, as I said, this whole global collaboration or global mindset, I strongly believe it's fueled by people who are motivated, working in a different culture and somewhere else. So I guess over the last 20 years, I developed a certain skill set in the area of global mobility. I'm still passionate about it because it's about people being on the way or being traveling internationally. And so how did I come to the point where I'm now? So not being an employee looking forward to the pension payment in a couple of years, but really driving my passion and my vision. I think one thing is I have this, I would say I have this I want to change the world attitude, not ruling the world, but I would like to improve it and change it.
Yeah.
And that's still very much burning in myself. And then also some people don't like it, some people like it. I can be I am very direct and blunt. So I know what I want, and so I say it. And some people think, oh my God, he's too direct. Now we come to the intercultural topics. But I
That's
think
why
this
they
is
call you Andreas the German.
Andreas the German. Yeah, actually, one lady is she's the Brazilian hairdresser. But yeah, so this is being direct and blunt. And I think I have developed into a person who's very much result focused and driven. So I want to see how to earn money with a certain activity because everyone needs money for living. And I think I do combine it with smiles. So I can be friendly. I am friendly intrinsically. And I think this opens doors.
And you're hilariously funny for a German.
Yeah, I mean, maybe because I was also on assignment to different countries.
Yeah.
So I guess I did learn certain behaviors or habits and adapted them. And
Yeah.
seems to work out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was just thinking about two things. I never asked you this, but usually these people that like to improve the world, like myself and
Yeah.
you, they were all in ISEC. Were you also in ISEC?
I said no.
No.
No, I wasn't.
So I didn't think so, but maybe your wife was.
What's ISAC again?
It's like an international student organization, and they organize internships around the world. This is how I
Okay.
initially ended up in Switzerland after
Mm-hmm.
university, but I was also in that organization, and I have a lot of clients that are in
Yeah.
that organization. And I always say,
Right.
like, I just continued with ISEC when I grew up. I basically do the same thing that I did at university already.
Right. Right.
Student exchange in a
No, I
bigger
didn't.
way.
I mean, I know Erasmus,
Yeah,
but I haven't been part of this schedule. But as you said, we met at PwC. I did my dual studies at
yeah,
PwC,
yeah,
and one practical session or training period was abroad. So I
yeah,
spent time in the Netherlands.
yeah. That
Yeah.
that was maybe it. So like this international experience, you
Hmm.
sort of licked blood and then, you morphed into something different. And
Yep.
even if people think you're German, I don't think you're very typical German. I mean,
Thank
yes,
you.
you're direct and yeah, and sometimes you can say things where people go like, did he really just say that? But I know, where it comes from a good heart with you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and that's important.
Hmm.
And another thing I just wanted to comment on that I find so funny, like people our age now
Yeah.
talk about going into retirement. I just heard
Hmm.
somebody, like one of my clients, talk about that yesterday. I think he's even younger than me. And then I was like, I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine. I love so much what I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like we probably have 20 years ahead of us now because we decided in our 40s that we would start a business instead of staying in the corporate grind.
Hmm.
But everybody who stayed is now ready to go.
Yeah, and but that's also what I tell my kids. I'm not working. I don't feel I'm working.
Yeah, yeah,
Because what I do, I like, and I follow this bigger plan. Therefore, there's no limitation. So when people talk about retirement and pension payments and stuff, um, no, I mean, if I follow my vision, it doesn't stop with 67. I will still do what I like until I die, I
yeah.
assume. So and what I do adapts and changes over the time. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, that's my
As we
view.
grow, yeah, with your personal growth as well, the
Mhm.
purpose slightly changes, but I think it's still around the same essence. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, do you want to talk a bit more about, like maybe some of the challenges you face as an entrepreneur, some tips you have for younger entrepreneurs, people in our field who think about starting a business?
I think looking back on my experience, it does make sense to start with an employment and belonging to a certain
Mm,
corporation with a community and a team, and where you can learn in a kind of in a safety net and have financial stability.
mm,
Um, but the experience I made was, yeah, after a certain time, for some people, and I'm definitely one of these people, it does make sense to get out of that. Because the security and the structure corporations bring at the same time means its limitations. And you have, of course, you have to follow a certain corporate conduct and the brand and the behaviors and the values. So that's okay. But at some stage, yeah, you want to do your own stuff. You want to be your own brand. You want to do what you want to do the day, or you want to have your own plan. And I think that's what happened to me. So I'm very much appreciative about my, for example, PwC experience, or also Deutsche Bank and Bombardier.
mm,
But yeah, as of 2027 or 2017, when I stepped out of the corporate role, since then it has been a struggle sometimes, especially at the beginning. Once you're a freelancer or entrepreneur, or you create your own company, what's the main thing you need to take care of? You need to take care of revenues and money into the bank because you have to pay the bills. So that's something which shouldn't be underestimated. And good things, and that's also a learning, take time.
mm,
Especially here in I think in Germany or
mm,
DACH region or Europe, you need to take your time, and you need to build networks and build
mm,
trust and think
mm.
in ecosystems. That's what I would
Absolutely.
like to pass on. Yes.
No, that's absolutely correct. I was just talking about that on another video.
Hmm.
And it's a long-term investment and long-term
Yes.
strategy. And
Yes.
maybe, you also have the same feeling that now after, several years, a decade of being in that world, things suddenly become so much easier. But it is a long-term strategy and it takes a lot of grit, perseverance,
Hmm.
passion,
Yes.
strong purpose that you keep at it, even in the harder times.
Yes.
Then as we both are very keen on global mobility education, and you had a leadership role in global mobility, you now see global mobility as an entrepreneur.
Hmm.
What do you think global mobility managers, HR managers, recruiters, tax professionals, immigration professionals, all the adjacent professionals
Yeah.
should understand better in order to get our function, our profession to the next level?
Mhm. Um, yeah, being an entrepreneur, and I explained it, it means you have to look for revenues. So where do you get money from? And it's the same in any other corporation entertaining a global mobility function. Um, these are businesses, so they eventually they sell something which they get paid for. So and what I see sometimes, especially in the compliance global mobility world, it's like agencies or authorities who there's a law, there's a regulation, and you need to follow, but they don't necessarily see that this is really hindering creativity and also profitability. of companies. So putting yourself into the shoes of a line manager and the business owner or the family business owner, I think that's very important, because with this you can become a consultant. So you don't just think about delivering a certain case and working off a certain task. You see the big picture. Which impact does it have if this assignment, this transfer, this project travel assignment goes in the wrong direction? Not just from a compliance perspective, but also if it fails, how much does it cost the company? And yeah, so I think this is very much important, that we as whoever is involved in cross-border people management in whatever shape has this company view. Yeah. We are support fund. We are a supporting function. We are not the gatekeeper or something. We are not making the laws. I think we are translators of what does an individual need, what does the business need, and what are the legal regulations around it. And we need to make this process as smoothly as possible.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, the function will only be successful if it's closely aligned with the business. Business development, business sourcing, markets, everything that moves the business forward will also move the function forward. It's not only relevant as a talent development program. That is a little bit too narrow-minded, that idea. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Right. Now we had very little pre-talk, and I'm wondering what's going on with you, because I have my own story at the moment going on with some of the social media. So what is your take on that topic? How do you use social media for business development? Do you use it at all? What's your favorite platform? How do you gain clients right now?
I mean, first of all, so 4 years ago, I created the community and a network called People Mobility Alliance. And so this is because it's always about also giving back to the community. You want to give people a platform and make sure they can interact and share knowledge. And then out of this network, or the People Mobility Alliance, we have now, over the last years, developed certain business units. So we have the People Mobility, the PMA Consult. So we do support and help companies in building their global mobility functions or HR strategies. We have the PMA Academy, which is enabling internal global mobility staff to do their job. And we have the PMA Research, which is creating content, fact and data based around all topics of mobility. And yes, of course, we need to communicate and promote who we are, what we do. And I mean, my strategy is we have our own content on our own website in our own environment, digital environment, and use social media just as a distribution channel. So there's this LinkedIn, there's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's TikTok. Currently, we are using Instagram and LinkedIn, but it's not that I have the ambition to really get warm leads, so to say. We rather promote webinars, get-togethers, conferences, where then people can meet, exchange, and we're always there and able to support. So that's my take on social media, because you're very much dependent on the platform owner, and whatever the political direction is right now, they can shut you down. So rather have your own content, your own expertise in your environment.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you need a digital home for everything that you do.
Yeah.
And everything else is the cherry on the cake. Yeah, so that is, I think, really good wisdom that you shared here. Now, I know you have a great event coming up. Do you want to talk a bit more about that?
We have actually 2 events coming up.
Tell us more.
One is it's on the 14th of May in Munich in the Allianz Arena. This is where Bavaria Munich is playing. It's a joint event between the PMA, led by Stefan Remhoff, who's part of the PMA, and Benjamin Bader. I think his venture is called Mastering GM. And they talk about global mobility strategies in person there. So that's one thing. And the second thing is, and that's more in my responsibility, it's the second International HR Tech Conference, which will happen in Leipzig, again,
Yeah.
where I come from, on the 18th of November. More news to be shared, but the main theme is mobility and assessment. So that's pretty much, yeah, I'm looking forward to that because we will push a lot of content digital, like online, and we will combine it with our academy. And so that the whole world can participate if they want at this conference. More
Wow.
information to come.
It sounds really exciting. And we're going to share the links to all of these events in the show notes. And
Hmm.
people can also find you through your website and contact you directly on your website, right?
Of course. Yes.
Okay. Well, Daniel, it was fantastic talking to you and great to catch up. And we shall catch up in person in 2025.
We
Hopefully.
do. You don't know it yet, but there's the planned PMA is coming to Zurich, and you're on the short list to be contacted. Okay.
PMA is coming to town. How exciting. Yeah, please
Exactly.
let me know when. Let me know when. I
Yes,
look
will
forward
do.
to seeing you.
Thank you, Angie, and thanks
All
for
the
the
best.
opportunity to be with you here.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure as always. Have a good one.
Thank
Bye.
you.